will give a very short presentation based on the changes that were recommended by the board at your September 15th meeting. Go ahead, Steve. So here's a summary of 2021 special appropriations, inclusive of the changes as I understand them from the board at this point. As you can see, we've increased our local roads, we've restored the redevelopment fund, we've increased the solar array per the board's discussion from 100 to 300,000. We're paying cash for the sewer vac truck at 450, and the deer management program. And this is really an estimate. We have no idea whether it's going to be 40 or 80,000 to do what we talked about doing last week. So we did 70,000, and we've included 10,000 for the environmental commission as well. And again, our contribution to the pension fund, to MERS, and then some other smaller amounts, Historical Village, Meals on Wheels, and then of course a large mower. We talked about the drinking fountain, the emergency warning siren. Nothing's changed on this page from the last time. Our contribution to healthcare. IT, significant upgrades, 3 police interceptors, our ladder truck, the roof at the Nokomis, and a couple neighborhood signs, LED lighting. And this is where we end up. This is the last page of the presentation. If you incorporate the changes that the board discussed at the last meeting on the 15th, we would estimate our fund balance to be almost $7.5 million on December 31 of 21. But there's a couple caveats I want to throw into that as well that you should be aware of. One is that there's very strong discussion at the state legislature about restoring restoring revenue sharing, and that would be a $300,000 increased revenue for the township. And then we just learned, I think on Friday, that we're getting 100% of our hazard pay being reimbursed to the federal government at $69,000. So if you add in the $350,000, we would be at 7.8 million. So we know that the hazard pay is there. We feel strongly about the revenue sharing. So we estimate that number right now at approximately 7.8 million, December 31 of 2021. And then finally, if there's any questions that you have, Mr. Supervisor, I would bring up one question that I've heard since the 15th, and that was a very good question that came in from Trustee Jackson. And that was, if I recall correctly, and Trustee Jackson, correct me if I'm wrong, but the question centered on, and it's a question of really thinking ahead. What happens to the $250,000 that we set aside for the first 4 years for the ladder truck? What's the plans for year 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, basically? And so really, there's 2 thoughts with that. One would be, and again, it's a board decision, but one would be to setting that aside for future equipment purchases for police and fire. And the other one would be to earmark that towards, again, paying additional funds to MERS. In my mind, it should be used for police and fire because it's a police and fire village. So that would be my response if I understood your question correctly, Trustee Jackson.
That is what I was thinking.
That's all I have, Supervisor Steichen. I want to close with thanking our terrific team that we have. They did great work in putting this together, led by Director Madison. And I'm really proud of the budget that's before you. If you look at all the things that we're doing in cash and still keeping our fund balance where it's at, it's remarkable what we're able to do as a team. We're well ahead of the curve.